We will pay homage to the Buddha by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today we have to talk about the recollections of Sangha. As we have known in our daily chants, Subhadipano, Bhagavato, Savaka, Sangha, and so forth. So we have already known the 9 qualities of Sangha. So there are 9 qualities of Sangha. In this practice, we must know the quality of the noble disciples of the Buddha. So mostly, it also refers to noble disciples. It also refers to those who are still practicing. Okay, now the first one, Supatipanno. The noble disciples has entered on the good way. The Pali is Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. So here I mentioned the noble disciples. So noble disciple enter the right way called Samma Patipada. That is irreversible Anivati Patipada. Here I have to elaborate a little bit more about Anivati. Anivati means we don't need to restart from the very beginning. For example, if we have attained the path and fruition knowledge, we need not restart practicing from the zero, because it's confirmed. Although we are practicing vipassana after attaining Sotapanna, we can start from Udayapaya Jnana, the knowledge of rising and preparation. Later, we have to explain all the things in next chapter. So that means when we talk about vipassana. Okay, the main thing is irreversible anivati, which means after attainment, they need not restart practicing the 3 trainings, especially about morality. They will observe the 5 precepts strictly without breaking any of them. Also, they will have concentration because they have already overcome hindrances and defilements, which means they have already overcome or subsided very strong and powerful defilements or hindrances. The another one is that is it in conformity, Anuloma Bhatipada. Here, Anuloma means conformity with the Nibbana. So that means the practice must lead to the Nibbana. There's no opposition, Abhajanika Bhatipada. So which means the practice is not opposite of Nibbana. Sometimes, although we are practicing, our practice is in opposite directions of Nibbana. So now it will lead to Nibbana, not opposites to Nibbana. This is called Abhajanika Bhatipada. And also that is regulated by the Dhamma, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipatti, which means if we are practicing in accordance with the Dhamma, is also laid down by the Buddha in accordance with noble Dhamma. Okay, here we have to introduce 2 more Pali words, Savaka. In the Pali, we mention Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangha. Yeah, we have to introduce Savaka. So as we have explained, Supatipanna, right? Supatipanna means the right way. Then here, Saṃgha means who respectfully listen to the teacher, the Buddha. This is called Saṃgha. So all the noble disciples listen to the Buddha respectfully. That's why they are called Saṃgha. Then Sangha. Sangha means grouping by their higher virtues, concentration, and wisdom, having the same practice. So here we have to introduce something about higher virtues. That means we all people have to follow the same precepts. We all have to practice for concentrations. We all have to practice vipassana. So having the same virtues, same concentration, or same wisdom, or same practice, having the same practice. Okay, what does it mean, higher virtues? As you have already known that we have 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 9 precepts, 10 precepts. We also have Patimaka rules. Compared to 5 precepts, 8 precepts is higher. Compared to 9 precepts, right? Or 8 precepts, 9 precepts is higher. Similarly, compared to 9 precepts, 10 precepts is higher. Compared to 10 precepts, the Patimaka rules is higher. That's what we call higher virtues. In Pali, Adisila. Also, we have higher concentration. In reality, in Pali, we call Adicita, higher mind or higher consciousness. That means purifications of the mind, we call concentration. Adipanya, higher wisdom. So we can learn many different things in the learning school. We can also think many different things. So we can learn by reading, or by attending class, or by listening, or by thinking. But in Buddha's teaching, we have to practice. We can also achieve wisdom by practicing. This is also called vipassana. We call insights, higher wisdom. Compared to normal wisdom, is higher. We have to practice properly in order to achieve this kind of wisdom. In the Visuddhimagga, it mentions Sangha has the same moral precepts and the same view. It also mentioned like that. So anyway, when we talk about moral precepts, this is also called Patimaka rules. When we talk about view, if we say right view, it's also called wisdom. So in the middle, we are missing concentration, right? If we have morality, we all have wisdom, but we need only concentration in the middle. Okay, anyway, the main thing is that we call Mika Bhatta Valanchana according to Pali traditions. Mika Bhatta Valanchana means the middle part is a hiding. So we have to reveal the middle part. Here, middle part is concentration. Anyway, so Sangha means groupings by their higher virtues, higher concentrations, or higher wisdom, having the same practice. This is called Sangha. Then here we also have like a Supatipanna. Supatipanna means practicing the training strictly as guided by the Buddha. If the Buddha say, do this, they will not complain anything without any considerations of gain or limbs, because I say body organs, or even life. You may have known many stories about the bhikkhus. There are some bhikkhus, although they are attacked by thieves, they are like attached to some creepers. They didn't cut the creepers in order that they may break precepts. So there are many, many stories like that. So anyway, when we talk about Supatipanna, that means they will follow the Buddha teaching strictly. Because what I said, where expounded, we have already learned in Dhamma quality, where expounded Dhamma, right? Taught by the Buddha. So it's also called blameless practice. That's why they will follow strictly. So another one is, we have already say, Uju Patipano. The noble disciples has entered on the straight way. Here we say straight way. So the noble disciples has entered on the immaculate way, avoiding two extremes, taking the middle course, and abandoning the force of bodily, bhava, and mental crookedness. In Bali we call Vanga. So here I have to introduce two extremes, avoiding two extremes. What does it mean, two extremes? In the first discourse of the Buddha, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, it mentioned Kamasukandika Nuyoga, sub-indulgent. It's also extreme way. If we follow our wish, our desire, we said we will do whatever thing we like. This is also called extreme. So we have the next one, sub-mortification, sub-torturing. In Pali we call Attakilamata. If we follow this way also, we cannot concentrate very well. Actually, we have already explained many different things in the very beginning of Visuddhimagga. So if we follow our wish, if we relax too much, we cannot improve. We like comfort, right? Sometimes we're trying to go to the comfort zone. We want to live in the comfort zone. This is also called extreme way, Kamasukandika Nuyoga. Sometimes we have a lot of pressure, a lot of torture in our body. This is also extreme way. So they are mentioned taking the middle course. Here means the middle way means Noble Eightfold Path. Although we follow the Noble Eightfold Path very strictly, this is useful. We can take Nirvana. That's why this is called right way. Because of say, immaculate way. Then here also mentions abandoning the force of bodily, bhava, and mental crookedness. We call in Bali Vanga. Here I have to introduce the Pali word Vanga again. Because that one is not mentioned in Visuddhimagga, but we can find the explanations of Vanga in Digha Nikaya commentary. So there mentions the Vanga means the crookedness or dishonest, or and that means no sincerity, or maybe like a deceitful, something like that. So there mentioned three types of crookedness or three types of dishonest person. We can also say no uju, right? So the first one is that means the bhikkhu will do many wrong things in his first age, such as wrong livelihoods, going to improper places, delighting in improper domains or improper resorts. This is called making many mistakes in the first age. Then he will do many good things in the middle age and the third age. So that kind of this also called a kind of person. That means in his childhood he's very sincere, very honest. Sorry, in his childhood he's very bad. In his middle age and in old age, he's really very good. This is also called a kind of Vanga. Then there are some types of person. So they are very pure in their first age, when in their childhood. Right? But they are impure also they are also very pure in their old age. But in the middle age, they are impure. This kind of people also can be. Then the next one is he's very pure in the first age and in the middle age, but he's impure when he was old. When he is old. So we also have this kind of person. In the case of Ujjupatipanna, it means they are pure in any age. When they are young, also they are pure. In the middle age, also they are pure. When they grow old, also they are pure. This is called Ujjupatipanna. Without following any wrong ways, extreme ways. So they will not have any bodily, bhavana, and mental crookedness. Okay, here we have to introduce something about Ujju, right? In Pali. Ujju means straightforward or non-crookedness. What does it mean, non-crookedness? Here also I have already write down by concealing his faults and revealing untrue attainments or untrue quality. In Pali, we call Maya and Sateya. Maya means concealing faults. Sometimes if we have weakness, when other people know our weakness, then they will criticize or condemn us. That's when we hide our weakness, our faults, our mistakes. This is also called Maya. So sometimes we wish other people to be respected. So if I'm virtuous, they will respect me. If I'm knowledgeable, they will respect me like this. That's why they will reveal unto attainments or unto quality. You may have known many stories about arhats in modern society. They declare that they are an arhat. They are arhats, but doing many things, many wrong things. This is called our approach them. They will respect them at this only and or untrue quality. Not only that, we also have like a virtues, morality, concentration, also confidence. There are many qualities. So it depends on our personality. We may have many different qualities. So if we conceal our mistakes, our weakness, and also if we reveal unto attainments or unto quality, this is not Ujju. This is also crookedness. So Buddha disciples will not have this kind of things. They will not conceal their faults. They will not reveal unto attainments or unto quality. This is also called Ujjupatipanna. When they are practicing, they will do honestly. Because we have to confess, right? After making mistakes. But this is the second quality. Then again, we have Nyayapana 3. The noble disciple has entered on the true way. Nyaya means Nibbana, which is penetrated by the path knowledge. Then the noble disciples practice the higher virtues, higher concentration, higher wisdom, with the intention to attain Nibbana, the truth. So this is called Nyayapatipanna. Although we practice the Dhamma, if we don't have any intention to attain Nibbana, this is not what we call Nyaya. We must have a Nyaya, right? For Nibbana, we must practice. So we may have many expectations. Sometimes we may expect to be reborn in Deva realms, to be reborn in Brahma worlds, to be reborn in higher existence, or to be reborn in higher class. When we have all these kind of expectations and also practice the 3 trainings, we can also say Nyayapatipanna. So we must practice in order that we may attain Nibbana. That's called Nyayapatipanna. Then we also have one statement here, practicing the purest way to realize Nibbana or the cause of realizations of Nibbana. So we just choose the purest way to realize Nibbana. Of course, there are many practices, very maxis with different theories, different instructions, right? Very maxis with practice. But in Buddha's teaching, it's very pure. So we have to follow the purest way or the purest practice to realize Nibbana. As we have mentioned, Noble Eightfold Path. We cannot skip or remove any of them in our practice. If we remove one of them, there will only Noble Sevenfold Path. It's not enough to realize Nibbana. So he also mentioned the cause of realizations of Nibbana. Let me practicing the causes of realizations of Nibbana. So we have many, many causes. So the Noble trainings, the Noble Eightfold Path is the cause. The realization of Nibbana is the effect. If we can practice Noble Eightfold Path, we will attain Nibbana. So that means for Nibbana, we practice. Then there are some other arguments in the quality. For example, like a path knowledge. It's okay, we can say Nyaya Patipanna. It's a practitioner, right? He's a practitioner. So at the moment of the path knowledge, he's really practicing. We can say practitioner. But at the moment of the fruition knowledge, he has already practiced. He has already completed practicing. But anyway, the noble disciples are considered as Nyaya Patipanna, although they have already practiced totally or completely. Because without practice, they cannot achieve that kind of status. Okay, now we have to continue the next one, Samichi Patipanna. When we talk about Samichi Patipanna, the noble disciples has entered on the proper way. Although we say proper way, but here Samichi means respect or veneration. Noble disciples are worthy of venerations because they have entered on proper way, the higher trainings. So from time to time, people also ask me, why we have to be bound down to the Buddha? Why we have to bow down to the bhikkhu? This one is a really, really very simple answer, because they have higher wisdoms, higher concentration, higher virtues. That's why we have to bow down to the Buddha. Not only that, when we are practicing, right, we are also worthy of veneration. After attaining noblehood, their concentration, their morality, their wisdom is confirmed. That's why they are worthy of veneration. So the main thing is Samichi. They are worthy of veneration, but doesn't mean venerations are because of higher trainings. Then again, we have one analyzer here. To be praiseworthy, the Buddha and by the Buddha and released from Sangha or life, they practice the three trainings. So that means sometimes the Buddha himself praise his disciple. You may have known many of Buddha disciples. For example, Venerable Sariputta was the foremost of his wisdom. After the Buddha, he is the wisest. The Buddha will praise in the middle of disciples. So let me do be praised by the Buddha, especially by the wise also we can say like that, right? Sometimes ordinary people also can praise, but when the Buddha praise, that means we are worthy. Because the Buddha could know, the Buddha can know everything. We cannot hide anything. When the Buddha always to know our ability or our quality. So knowing the quality or the ability of the bhikkhus or his disciples, the Buddha will praise. That's why do we worthy, do we praiseworthy by the Buddha, or to release from Saṃgha of life. Buddha disciples practice the three trainings. This is called Samiti Pripana. We call proper way. They have entered on the proper way. So here we have to know the Saṃgha of life. You have already know what is Saṃgha of life, right? We have to be born in the same existence or the same lives many times. Also, we have to be reborn in different lives many times. We have to be reborn here and there in many existences. This is called samsara, Saṃgha of life. So if we practice the three trainings, we can be free from the Saṃgha of life. We can also say samsara in Pali. So these are the first four Buddha's quality. These are the causes of noble persons. That means, so these five are the causes because we have to practice, right? Now we have the next five. So the next five will be the results of practice. So now we start with Ahuneyo. The noble disciples is fit for gifts. This is one thing. So here mentioned the noble disciples is a fit for gifts. That is brought even far away. So sometimes they will prepare special donations from very far place and they will bring it to the Sangha. Sangha can accept the donation, worthy of accepting this kind of donation. So we have related story about Chitta, one of the lay disciples of the Buddha. Here I just summarize his story, but I have to explain a little bit more in detail about what he did. So he lived in Machikasanda, one of the market town in Magadha Kingdom. So learning meditation from Venerable Mahanama among the five bhikkhus who listen Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, he attained up to Anagami. So before he met the Buddha, he had already attained Anagami, no returner. He was a noble person, was a good Dhamma talker. Actually, there are many things to talk about his life story, but here I will skip. The main thing is he wished to see the Buddha because although he had attained the noblehood, attaining non-returner noblehood, he had never met the Buddha. So he planned to see the Buddha. Then, accompanied by 2,000 others, merchants or devotees, he took with him 500 cartloads of offering to the Buddha and the Sangha. You can imagine 500 carts loads of offering, donations to the Buddha and the order, the Sangha. He prepared many things. Also, he also supports all his companions. On the way, he gave foods, residence, or anything. It took a few months to arrive at Savatthi, very far, Magadha to Kosala Kingdom, Magadha Kingdom to Kosala Kingdom. So when he, maybe it will take months, maybe. When he arrived at Savatthi, he had to wait for a chance to offer his donation. You can imagine he has to bring his donation from very far city to Savatthi. Although he arrived at Savatthi, many donors are offering. He did not have any opportunity to offer the Buddha and the Sangha. But anyway, he visited the Buddha. Also, he listened the Dhamma. As he fell at the feet of the Buddha, the flowers of 5 hues showered from skies, and the Buddha preached him about Sarana Vibhati. Sarana Vibhati means about bases. As you have already know, I'm base, ear base, no base, time base, body base, and something like that. Also, we also have like color, sound, smell, taste, and also tangible objects, also mind objects. So all are called salayana. As we have 6 bases, 6 doors, we also have 6 objects. So Buddha talk about 6 bases, meditation methods to him. So for a fortnight, he continues distributing his gifts to the Sangha. So it took a fortnight for him distributing his donations to the Sangha. Although he offered, but he still had many. Although he offered 1 year, he cannot make his bullock cart empty because too much donation he had. Then he reported the matter to Venerable Ananda. He wished to offer he has already intention to offer to the Sangha, but now he has to wait maybe more than 1 year, maybe, to complete or to finish or to make his bullock cart empty. So he just needs warehouse or storehouse. He will offer everything to the Sangha. He will leave. So you can imagine this is called very far, right? He had to come from very far city, also offer to the Sangha. The Venerable Ananda had to arrange his storehouse for him. He offered all the donation to the Sangha in Savatthi. After that, he left. So the Devas fills his carts with all kinds of valuables. On the way back, he also gets a lot of valuable things. So that is the story of Chitta. Although he brought many things from very far, Sangha is still worthy of accepting his donation. It's called Ahuneya. Then we also have another story about Laja, a Devi, a female Devas. So she came and cleansed Venerable Marcus's dwelling place, expecting for her future. When knowing that, Venerable Marcus asked, who is there cleaning my kuti? She said, "It's me, a Devi." Venerable Makasapa just talk to her. Don't come later. Then she also requested, "This for my well-being. I'm also poor in the Devarams. That's why this for my welfare, my well-being. May I start for you?" The Venerable Makasapa rejected. Later generations will talk about me. Oh, Venerable Makasapa accepted a female Deva came to his kuti and worked for him. It will be very shameful for me. That's why don't come to see me anymore. So anyway, the main thing is she also has to come down from Devarams. Work for Venerable Makasapa. Serve for Venerable Makasapa. So this is also called Ahuneya. Okay, now we have to continue the next quality. Ahuneya. The noble disciples is fit for hospitality. So here we have to introduce a little bit different things about it. The noble disciple is worthy to be placed first, or to be offered first. This is also called Pahuneya. So there are many donors, also many receivers. Compared to other receivers, the Buddha noble disciples are worthy to be offered first. But they should accept the first. So this is also called Pahuneya. Another one, it also fits for donations that is well prepared with all honors for the sake of dears, beloved relatives, and friends who have come from all quarters. Sometimes when we have special guests who came to our house, we have to prepare with all honors. So similarly, Buddha disciples, noble disciples are also like special guests, special visitors. We have to prepare everything with all honors. This is also one thing about this quality. Then, okay, we have a little bit more explanations about it. So as we prepare special foods for visitors, we should also prepare special donations for Sangha, such as cleaning, decorating, or arranging many kinds of donation, which is also refers to Sakkajan Danan Deity. We have this kind of statements we can find in something about Sampradaya Dana, noble donations. Okay, the main thing is special donations means sometimes, okay, we have to say some practical ways. Before we give Dhamma talk, sometimes they will prepare flower in front of the sitting place. This is also called Sakkajan Dana Deity, just decorations. Also, maybe for good smell, maybe, sometime for good smell. So another one is it like a decorating. For the sitting place, they will decorate with a flower. Also, maybe like a microphone. Also, mice down, they will decorate with a flower, something like that, decorating very well. Then arrange many kinds of donation. That means many choice food, for example. When we offer a kuti, we may also offer many other furnitures for that kuti, the living place. So if we arrange everything well, then this is also called special donation. We can also say Sakajanta Nanditi. So we have the next one. Sangha has an enduring and lovable quality such as morality and so on, so that they are worthy of receiving the donations of devotees who have a faith in karma and its results. So here, one more thing we have to explain about karma and its results. Not all the people in this world believe in karma and its results. Only we Buddhists believe in karma and its results. Even among the Buddhists, there are many different sectors. They will say different interpretations of karma and also results. Anyway, the main thing is Sangha has enduring or lovable quality. As we have mentioned before, veneration, worthy of veneration, right? Here we have lovable quality, such as morality, considerations, and so on. So, one more thing about morality. When we talk about morality, it must be bodily actions and bhava actions. So if we are good in bodily actions, which means we don't harm anybody, we don't harm ourselves, this is called morality. Also, it's really lovable. Also, it's enduring. Similarly, concentrations. When we talk about concentration, it's mental training our minds. If we can train our minds, we will not have any wrong thoughts, evil thoughts. For example, sometimes we may have jealousy, hatred, arrogance, deceitful, many bad minds or evil minds we have. When we can concentrate very well, we can subside all these bad mental states. So when we have good actions, good speech, and good thoughts, it's a good quality. We are qualified enough to accept the donations of devotees who have faith in karma as a result. So one more thing here about karma as a result. Actually, we have to talk about karma many ways. In brief, we must believe when we do good things, there will be good results. When we do bad things, there will be bad results. This is very basics theory of Buddha's teaching. So if we can believe in it, if we can accept in it, if we offer, it will be also more beneficial. It's better results. So anyway, sometimes we also believe our future existence or something like that. There are many other types of belief. Anyway, mainly if we can believe in karma as a result, after that offer, then it will be more beneficial, more grateful, more fruitful. Okay, now we have to move 7. Dakineyo. The noble disciple is fit for offering. So, one more thing about offering. The noble disciple is fit for gifts to be given out of faith in karma as a result, similar to previous one. But this one a little bit different. So noble disciples defines the gift by making it of great fruits. It's called dakineya. So here we have to elaborate again. Dakina also means well-trained or well-developed bodily, bhava, and mental actions. It also can be the reasons of the causes of development. Okay. Second one, the causes of development. Dakinami, the causes of development. So we have spiritual development. So when we talk about dakina, we also mention sometimes about like a samsara or future lives. Sometimes when we offer, right, we may expect do we live in the future better lives in the future. This also can be considered, right? Expecting for the future. Anyway, so the main thing is that dakina here means well-trained or well-developed body, verbal and mental actions. The second one is that dakina also can be the reason of the causes of development. So this can be called dakina. So after offering, they can develop, right? They can develop their spiritual power. Sometimes when we offer, we just offer to decorate our minds, to beautify our minds, to beautify our mind also. Then we also have one sutta called Dakina Vibhanga Sutta in Majjhima Nikaya. It also mentions the beauty of gifts in two sides, the donor sides and the receiver sides. Actually, we call Ubudda Vibhu Visuddhi, purifications of gifts in two sides mean from the donor side also his pure immortality, the receiver side is also pure immortality. This is also called Dakina, pure purity of gifts. So sometimes in our community, donor is very, very good, very kind, or very pure, but receiver is impure. In this case, we can say it's pure in one side. Sometimes donor is not pure, but receiver is pure. In this case, also pure in one side. Sometimes both of donors and receivers are impure. At the time, we can say both are impure, right? So the last one is if donor is also moral, pure, receiver is also moral and pure, that means Ubudda Suddhi, pure in both sides. So if there's a purity in both sides, it is really called, right, dakina, proper dakina or pure dakina. So that means from the receiver side, we can make the gift pure. That's why it's called dakineya, fit for offering. But not only that, when we talk about both sides, also we have Chalanga Dana Sutta. But we also talk about Chalanga Dana, right? It mentions about 3 kinds of volition. So Puba Chirana, this means precedent volitions, which means before offering, we must prepare very well in order that we may not regret our donation. We will not regret in the future. Muncha Chirana. So we must have good minds or kindness or no greeds, no hatreds, and also no delusions at the moment of offering, in the actual time of offering. This is called Muncha Chirana. Then we have Abhara Chirana, succeeding volition, which means after offering, we must be able to rejoice our donation. This is also called Abhara Chirana. So these 3 are from the donor sides. From the donor sides, before offering, prepare very well. They must have no greeds, no hatred, no delusion. Also, in the actual time of offering, at the moment of offering also, no greed, no hatred, no delusion. After offering also, no greed, no hatred, no delusion. Here I just use the English term, no greed, no hatred, right? If we say another way, no greed also equal to charity, generosity, without any clinging or without any attachment or without any grasping or stinginess. Then we can also say non-hatred. But if we say non-hatred, it also can be considered as metta, loving kindness. Then again, when we talk about non-delusion, it also equal to wisdom. We must be wise enough to offer. We must know the benefit of offering. We must also know the benefit for receiver, for the well-being of receiver. This is also called knowledge or wisdom. So from the donor side, we must have these three qualities to purify the donations. For about receiver side, actually we must have three more. The receiver must be able to eradicate the greed, hatred, and delusion. Or if he cannot eradicate, but at least he must be trying to eradicate greed, hatred, and delusion. So if we have this kind of ability, this kind of quality, this is all purifications of receiver. So briefly, when we talk about dakkhina, it make the gifts pure. It make the gifts greater or more fruitful. This is also called dakkhina, dakhineya. Okay, we should continue. The next one, Angelic Karaniyo. The noble disciple is fit for reverential salutation. The noble disciple is worthy of being accorded by the whole world's reverential salutations, placing their both hands, palms above their heads. That is it, the explanations. So, for example, even a Brahma approaches the Buddha, pay respect to the Buddha. Similarly, even a Brahma came to see the bhikkhu and was bound down to the bhikkhu. Right? Some of the Brahma are anagami, but they still bound down to the bhikkhu or the ordinary bhikkhu for their high virtues. Also, the lifestyles of bhikkhu, because the lifestyles are guided by the Buddha. Okay, now here we have a short note about Angelic Karaniya. Even the bhikkhu's properties such as robes, boats, belts are paribhoga jitiya. So even bhikkhu's properties are worthy of jitiya. So boats also allowed by the Buddha. Robes also allowed by the Buddha. Belts also allowed by the Buddha. According to Vinayas, we have to do everything. Not only that, there are many other bhikkhu's properties, right? Such as walking stick, also allowed by the Buddha. And we also have many other things as the Buddha used. This is also called paribhoga jitiya. So that means they also worthy of respect, worthy of salutation, reverential salutations. So okay, that one is very simple. Why we have to pay respect to the Sangha? This means they have trainings, right? They have higher trainings, higher concentrations, and higher morality, higher wisdoms. That's why we have to respect, or we have to pay the salutations to them. We have to bow down, right? This is one thing. Okay, now we have the last quality. Dakkhiniyo. So anudana punya khita lokasa. So Anuttara Punya Ketan Lokasa, the noble disciple is an incomparable feat of merit for the worlds. So the noble disciple is as a place without equal in the worlds of growing merit. Sometimes we are going to grow plants. We have to find proper place. If there's a good fertilizer, or the good sunshine, or good water, then it can grow. So now when we are going to, if we wish to get greater benefits, then we have to find proper place. This is actually Noble Sangha. Approaching to Noble Sangha, we can also listen, Noble teaching. We can also do donations. Also, when we give donation, also it will be greater fruits. So guided by them, we can also practice well because they are influential mostly, right? Anyway, so now the main thing is the noble disciple is as a place without equal in the world for growing merit. Then again, the noble disciples is the place for growing the whole world's merits. So people from different places trying to grow or plant their seeds in the field. This is a good place. So, okay, here we have to introduce two things, okay? One story is about Kinsaka. Okay, so government to get greater benefits, people offer to Sangha. We have already mentioned purifications by two sides, right? But now again, Kinsaka offered Venerable Kaspa for his well-being in this life. Actually, Kinsaka was born in Deva realms earlier than the Buddha, before Buddha arising. So there are many new devas after arising of the Buddha, because they have more opportunity to do dana, to observe precepts. Also, they have more opportunity to meditate under the guidance of the Buddha and Buddha disciples. Now, when they were reborn in the Deva realms, their bodies are brighter than Kinsaka. Their divine mission is also bigger than Kinsaka. Also, they are attendants. Their followers also more than Kinsaka, or more beautiful than Kinsaka's attendants. That is why he came down to the human realms to plant good fruits or good seeds. He knew that at the time Venerable Mahakasapa was entering into cessation attainment, Nirodha Samapatti. After emerging from it, he also knew that Venerable Mahakasapa will go for Pindapata. So in the entrance of the village, Kinsaka and his wife Suja lived there in the guise of an old couple. So when Venerable Mahakasapa came to their house, they offered divine nutriment to Venerable Mahakasapa. In the very beginning, Venerable Mahakasapa thought, I have never seen these old couples here. This is the first I have ever seen. But after offering, after pouring all the donation to or the food into his bowl, so the smell come out. He can smell it. Oh, this is not normal nutriment. This is divine nutriment. That's why he asked, who are you? Then Kinsaka said, I'm a deva of king, Kinsaka. He said, the king Venerable Mahakasapa said, it will be very beneficial for poor people. Now, use spine, the benefit of poor people. And he also replies, Venerable Sir, I am also poor Deva in the Deva ranch now. That's why I just come down here to offer you. But the main thing is, so all the Devas or Brahmas plant their seeds in the Sangha in order that it will grow better. They may get greater benefits or greater profits. So these are the qualities of Sangha. When we are going to do recollections, then we can recollect one of them, or we also do one after another. After that, we can choose one of the quality as we like most. Then again, we have to continue as usual, the arising of excess concentration. So as we have explained in our previous talks, and the quality of Buddha and Dhamma. Now here in the quality of Sangha, it will be similar. He cannot be obsessed by greed, hatred, delusions, and other hindrances. Sometimes when we are obsessed by greed, like we are like crazy people, right? Similarly, when we are obsessed by defilements or hindrances, we are like crazy people. That kind of thing will not happen in him if we are practicing the recollection of Sangha. Then 2, he has rectitude by taking the meditation subjects. That means it's very easy to practice any meditation subjects. His mind is ready to accept any meditation subjects. Then 3, initial application and sustainment arise. So that means Vitakka Vichara will arise. Then 4, rapture arises. Piti will arise. So actually, when we talk about Patisambhidamagga, the enlightenment factor of Piti, also they also mention how to develop the enlightenment factor of rapture. They are mentioned we have to practice recollection of Buddha, recollection of Dhamma, recollection of Sangha, and so forth. Then again here, 5, tranquility arises. Here we can say tranquility means passaddhi in Pali. Among the enlightenment factor, we also have passaddhi sambhojjhanga, the enlightenment factor of tranquility. When we are going to develop the enlightenment factor of tranquility, we can also practice the recollection of Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. Then 6, the bliss arises. So that means happiness or joy will arise. After that, 7, concentration arises. So all the Sangha's qualities are like ultimate reality. That is why we cannot attain jhana. We can just attain asset concentration. So with asset concentration, we can also continue practicing vipassana. It's also possible. Okay, now 8, the jhana factors arise. So although we just attain asset concentrations, there will be jhana factors. It will be very strong and powerful jhana factors. It will be very obvious, very clear jhana factors at the moment of asset concentrations. So these are the process that we can take up to asset concentration. So now again, the benefit of recollection of Sangha. So What will be the benefit? And he is respectful to the Sangha. Of course, if we know the quality of Sangha, we may respect to the Sangha. Then he gains fullness of faith in Sangha. We may have very strong faith in the Sangha, actually, especially noble Sangha. Then he gains fullness of mindfulness. Actually, whenever we talk about recollections, this is also about mindfulness. Without mindfulness, we cannot recollect. We cannot do any recollection. Then again, he gains fullness of wisdom. Then 5, he gains fullness of merit. Then 6, he has a full of gladness and rapture. Okay, one more thing about here, gladness and rapture. Gladness means we call pamoja, rapture means piti. Piti pamoja. So actually, that means piti, if piti is a little bit subtle, we call pamoja. When it becomes stronger, it becomes piti. Pamoja becomes piti. Pamoja is a gladness, piti is a rapture. 7, he conquers fear and dread. So that means if we can recollect Buddha's quality, Dhamma's quality, Sangha's quality, we can overcome fear or dreads. 8, he can endure bodily pain. Because here we also have said many times about this passage. How can we endure bodily pain? Right? By recollecting Buddha's quality. So in reality, when we have very strong tranquility, very strong rapture, very strong bliss, we can forget everything in our body. We will not feel our body anymore. As you have known about rapture, when we talk about piti, but when we talk about jhana fetters, it will invade all over the body. It will spread all over the body. It will touch all over the body. Then we may feel comfort. Also we may feel bliss. We can also feel tranquility. Then we can overcome the pain. The main thing is when we have very strong rapture, joy, tranquility, and bliss, we can overcome pain. That's why here he can endure bodily pain. That is also important in our practice. From time to time, if we feel pain too much, we can use these methods. And we can do Buddhanosati, Dhammanosati, Sanghanosati, and we can feel rapture, joy, and tranquility. Then we can overcome pain. 9, he feels as if he is living with the Sangha. So sometimes when we are alone, we can be lazy, right? For example, when we meditate alone, as soon as we are lazy, we will stop meditating. When we are in the group sitting, although we are lazy, we may keep meditating because of group sitting. We respect other people. This is the power of group, the power of Sangha. So that means, whatever we live, if we can feel as if we are living with Sangha, it will be very grateful. Then 10, his body is like an assembly hall when recollecting Sangha's quality. Okay, here, although we talk about assembly hall, but we also have to talk about Sima hall. I think many of Buddhist people know about Sima, right? Sima means we can do many Sangha activities I think you may have been, if you have been to Paugdoya, you may have known Visuddhimagga chanting. We will do Visuddhimagga chanting in Sima. Also group sitting there, listening to 227 rules recited by one bhikkhu. Not only that, we have some other Sangha transactions, such as Ordination Ceremony. When we are going to do ordination, we will gather in the Sima Hall and we will do all the process of ordination. So you may have been in Katina ceremony in Paugdoya or in any monastery. We have to chant Kamavacha in the Sima. So in any Sangha transactions like that, actually there must be 4 bhikkhus. That's why we call Sangha. So when we can recollect Sangha's quality, our body is like Sima Hall, where many Sanghas are chanting Kamavacha, chanting Visuddhimagga, or maybe doing ordination, doing many other Sangha transactions. This is also one of the benefits. Then 11, his mind inclined to obtain the qualities of Sangha. Now you have already learned the qualities of Sangha. If we obtained all the qualities, sure, we are like a noble person. Then 12, he is aware of conscience and shame by remembering the quality of Sangha very well when encountering any opportunity for transgression. So that means when we are going to make some mistakes, we may remember Sanghas, right? After that, we may have moral shame and moral fear, which means we will not break any of precepts out of respect to the Sangha. So this is also quality, one of the benefits. The last one is he can be reborn in the good destinations after death. So this is also one of the benefits. If we cannot attain higher attainments in this very life, if we pass away while recollecting Buddha's quality, we can be reborn in the good destination after death. This is also one of the benefits. Okay, today we have already talked about the quality of Sangha. So among the 9, the first 4 are the causes. The second 5 are the effects or the results of the practice. So when we can recollect Buddha's quality, if we are successful, we will get all the benefits as I have listed out. So based on this recollection of Buddha Sangha's quality, after attaining asset concentration, we can also continue practicing vipassana until we can attain arhatship. It will be very grateful for practitioners. Okay, may you all be able to practice the Buddha's teaching, the 3 trainings, and may you all be able to realize the final cessation and not suffering, Nirvana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
For obstetrician, doctor means doctors who helps in people giving birth, obstetrician. So he has to help the woman who to do abortion. So if he but they are only trying to do their works, would they consider killing?
Okay. in this case, if we have intention to kill, in the case of killing, we have 5 factors, We have, it must be living beings. We also have perceptions of living beings. We have intention to kill. Also, we make actions and the living being die. If we hear these 5 factors, we can see it's a killing. It depends on his mind and also how he accepts. Right? Okay, next one.
If a meditator, after finishing this samatha vipassana meditation course, but his memory is still very normal. After saying, will forget immediately. So, with this type of mindfulness, can he attain Maggaphala? This is
forgetful.
Forgetful.
If forgetful like this, you cannot attain Nirvana. It's not that simple and easy, right? You must be mindful all the time. Okay, next one.
Sorry, the question just now, please. If a layperson requests the monastery to return their donation, the monastery refused to return. So the Sangha in the monastery, would they consider stealing?
Actually, donor also cannot request like this, right? So in this case, dana, if dana is already offered, no need to return. We cannot say stealing. Just borrowing, okay, we have to return like that. This is a little bit strange, right? Okay, next one.
Vanami said, I am a lay people, lay devotees. So I often practice Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, and Sanghanusati. And even before sleep, I also practice. But I hear somebody say that even when I lying down, I should not do Buddhanusati because it is a lack of respect. So should not do Buddhanusati when or Dhammanusati or Sanghanusati when lying down. So is that correct, Sayadaw?
Okay, for about in the post, any posture we can do Buddhanusati, it doesn't matter, right? For about the practice. Okay, the question. Okay, can you repeat some questions? I'm gonna catch.
Sayadaw. So I repeat the question, Sayadaw. So because of he hear that somebody say when we are lying down, we should not practice Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, or Sanghanusati because we need to respect, we need to sit or stand or walking. We should not lying down and practice.
Okay, so it depends on the situation. For example, like if you are sick, one more thing, there are some very old people, they cannot sit. They will lying down, right? So in this case, it will be exception. Although sitting, any posture we can do Buddhanusati. In any meditation subject, we can do in any posture, in any situation. Just meditation, not really a big problem. Okay?
Vandami Siado, how can a Tutanga monk send a Tutanga question in Google Doc as requested? Because a Tutanga monk cannot disclose his practice of this Tutanga rule. Thank you.
Okay. So, okay, when we have this kind of open question like this, right? We have to be a little bit careful. Actually, it must be like they must have a proper teacher, proper guidance like this. If we just open up what we are practicing, this means we don't have contentment, right? We don't have pureness in wish, pureness or wish. This is not very, very good manner, not very good behavior, or not very good practice. Okay, next one.
Vandami Siado, refraining from stealing. Does it only limit on material things? For example, in one situation in this examinations to get certificates, and he cannot download this question download the answer from the handphone. But he requests the persons who are taking the same examination to answer part of the question. would they consider stealing?
Okay. In this case, like he's not honest, right? Dishonest. One more thing about stealing. Actually, this one, like, how do you got this one? Identity theft, right? For example, like other people's answer, but under your name.
Yes, similar like that. Means,
like this, right?
Yes.
They got identity thief. This kind of case is not allowed by the Buddha.
Doing chanting, doing parita, chanting at home. At the night, she saw many amanusa. In this case, in the daytime, he felt uncomfortable and also sleepiness. So how should he do? Should he continue doing this parita chanting?
Actually, you can also do chanting, you can also share merits at the same time, at the same section. You know, after chanting, just share the merits. Then it will be okay, not really big problem. You can keep doing it. Okay, next one.
Yes, Yado. Among the qualities of the Sangha, it seems that Ahuneya, fit for gift, and Dakineya, fit for offering, are very close in meaning. How to differentiate these two, please? Even the definition for Pahuneya also very similar. Appreciate Yado can kindly explain the differences among them, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, what about Ahuneya, right?
Yes.
Ahuneya, right?
Ahuneya and Dakineya.
Okay, Ahuneya and Dakineya. Okay. So, in the case of Ahuneya, that means they should offer the fast. This is one thing, right? They should have more favor. Also, well-prepared, they are fit for well-prepared donation. We're going to, this is the Pahuneya, sorry. Ahuneya is fit for gifts, okay? This one is also, Ahuneya is also they brought very far. They are worthy of that kind of donation. This is called Ahuneya. That means the donation brought from very far. This is Ahuneya, okay? The Pahuneya is they should be fast for offering. This is also called Pahuneya. Okay, now, what about Dakineya? That means they fit for dana, but also they also can purify the dana. That means noble sanghas are those who can purify the gifts or the donations. Okay, that's called Dakineya. You can also understand like that. The next one.
Yes, Yado. I understand the monastics are worthy of respect, but sometimes when I see some of the monastics' judgment and actions, it is very difficult for me to have respect. I can't force myself because it is also hypocritical. What shall I do? Sadhu.
Okay. So in this case, just think about Sangha's quality or Sangha. Don't think about personal. Some person, you know, here we have two different things. Sangha and person, two different things. If Sangha is pure, if person, it will be impure. So when you are going to offer this kind of impure people, right? So you cannot feel happy. It's very, very clear. So for about seeing also, okay, if you see that kind of people, just think about other good Sangha in that area, in that monastery. It will be easier for you or more comfortable for you. Okay, if we summarize, think about Sangha, don't think about person. It will be easier for you. Next one.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Sayadaw, Vandami Sayadaw, if a temple has sima under construction for a long time, how monks can chant Uposatha or Kama Vacha for recover of offenses? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, although the sima is under construction, we can use it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean we have to finish some constructions. As long as there's no other disturbance in the construction, is okay. Right? We can remove many other material, like for example, woods or like brick or something around the boundary. Either that we can do chanting Kama Vacha or we can do anything there. It's okay.
Dear Sayadaw, Wandami Bante, I have two questions as below, Bante. The first question, would Bante please explain the meaning of each word, Appamadena and Sampadeta?
Okay, Appamadena means like this is actually instrumental case, right? Appamadena means without negligence or without negligence. Samadena data means complete or we can like endure with, be endured with. That means we can say like this: be mindful. We can say like that, right? Sampadeta means some kind of somebody, that means complete or endured, be endured with. Okay, next one.
The next question is, can you go back? About the Sangha quality. Besides the 9 qualities mentioned in the text, I felt deeply grateful to the Sangha because they have maintained the Buddha's teaching through centuries to hand out to us. I felt more confident when I reflected in this way, rather than about the official 9 qualities. So how should I develop my confidence into the official 9 qualities rather than this way of reflection?
Okay. Actually, we have many other things talk about Sangha's quality. For example, like Sukha Sangha Samagi, Sukha Sangha Samagi. The unity of Sangha is also happiness. That kind of instruction, that kind of teaching also happen. We also have that kind of, because we also have this kind of instructions in Dhammavada. So that one is also actually okay. Yeah, the unity of Sangha is happiness. Because the unity of Sangha, so they can maintain the Buddha teaching. They can hand over, right, Buddha teaching over the centuries, throughout centuries. So this is also okay. You can also record that kind of things. After that, you can also remember the quality of their practice. For example, in the case of fourth council, right? Fourth council in Saranga, they have to suffer a lot, but they just keep trying to maintain the Pali scripts or Pali text. You can imagine how difficult, how hard it is. They also have to maintain their morality. They also maintain Buddha teaching. In this case, you can also apply, to official qualities. Okay, next one.
Mandami Sayadaw, there are 3 questions here. First question, seeing the Nama Kalapa and Rupa Kalapa, is it a must for attaining the Maggaphala, and to see the past life and future life for a normal lay person, is it possible? And to see this past and future life, is it a must in the attainments of Maggaphala?
Okay, this is the first question, right?
Yes, Sayadaw.
Actually, we have to talk about insight knowledges. For example, when we talk about Nama Rupa Parikahanyana, that means discerning mentalities and materialities. In that case, we have to discern all the completeness of Nama and Rupas. We have to break down all the completeness of Nama and Rupas. This is the first steps. After that, we also have the knowledge of cause apprehension. In this case, we have to know the causes of Nama and Rupa. So which means there are past causes, there are present causes of Nama and Rupas. For example, karma produces materialities. Karma produced materialities are produced by past karma. That's why we have to know what's the past karma. then we also understand. We also can understand. We have to see the past lives, which karma produce this life. Kamaja rupas, right? The karma produce rupa in this very life. So this is the way we have to understand. And in the second stage of insight knowledge, we call the knowledge of apprehending causes. So that is why the lay persons or ordained persons, if we are going to discern the causes of nama rupas, we must know the past lives. Similarly, if we are going to know the causes of the results of this present karma, we must know the future. Which karma will produce our future? That's why it's also necessary. It's essential. As you say, it must. Okay, we must discern to break down all the covetousness of nama rupas. Also, we have to discern cause effect relationships, past, present, and the future lives. Okay. Second question.
Second question. In the Abhidhamma, when it's mentioned about Chitta-vitti, there is this idea of bhavanga. And also in the meditation practice, there is also this statement called check the bhavanga, or check at the bhavanga. So these two types of bhavanga, what are the relationships between these two types of bhavanga?
Okay, so actually this is a very confusing questions. Most of the people confuse this too. Okay, now we have to divide into two different parts. If we talk about check bhavanga, that means this is mind-o, this is only materialities. One more thing, if we say mind-o bhavanga, that means materialities. When we talk about bhavanga mind moments, in English we call life continuum. There's only mind moments. These two are different things. Okay? So in Pali we call mano dwaram bhavanganti pavujati. Mind is also called bhavanga. Okay? Mind is called bhavanga. This is one statement. Another one is, as you have already know, life continuum. This is mind moments between the middle process. Okay, these two are different. Okay, next one.
In the sasana, in some of the desana, they are, I think this is the statements from the Mahayana or other sects, say, or other sectarian. There is this statement called the manifested mind, and the statement called the rupa is not different from sunyata. Sunyata is not different from rupa. And there are this type of teaching. So in the Theravada teaching, is there wu fang wei chen? Is there any particle without directions, or a timeless and spaceless particle and timeless moment? Is there such ideas in the Theravada teaching?
If we say that it must be Nirvana, Nirvana is not a particles, right? Nirvana is also timeless. We cannot say past, present, future. We can say like that, right? So we can say only Nirvana like that. Anyway, then next one.
Dear Sayadaw, our Buddha said that if we are unstable, then you can chant the Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, and Sanghanusati. The reason why he said is because this anusati lead us to the stage of concentration. Is that right? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay,
so for about chanting, actually not only that, although we talk about 32 body parts, they also mention about chanting, recitation. By chanting, we have to start. After that, we can also recall it. We can also try to see body parts. There are many other parts like that. Okay, the chanting also can also lead to concentrations later. Okay. Next one.
Yes, Sayadaw. When practicing 4 elements, we still need to think of the names of the 12 characteristics in order to feel them in the body. How can we cultivate strong access concentration when we still need to think of the name. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, name is only concepts. We have to know the characteristics. So, okay, one more thing. Sometimes, recitation, not knowing or not understanding the characteristics of elements. This is not really very good. But in this case, when we are practicing the 4 elements, we must know the characteristics of elements, not only the name, okay? We must know the nature of elements. Otherwise, it's not practicing. So when we can really deeply know the characteristics of elements, that we can take as a consideration, not by the name, okay?
Sadhu, sadhu.
Next one.
Yes, Yado. Nowadays in Pa'au, students who are practicing Vipassana are instructed to enter into peaceful state. Could Sayadaw explain what is peaceful state? Is it referring to friction state? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, okay, here it will be many, many other things. For example, peaceful state means without knowing any ultimate realities, without knowing any nama-rupas, just knowing only peacefulness, right? We can also like everlasting peace or cessations. Cessation or nama-rupas. This is also called peaceful states. We can also say like a fruition state. We can also say like that. Okay, now next one.
Dear Sayadaw, Wandami Sayadaw, can Tichi Varika Tutanga monk, the strict type, use double rope as a lower rope while his remaining ropes are wet? Sadhu. Or can he,
in this case we cannot use double rope as a lower ropes. Okay.
The second question is, can he use Vinaya underwear made by cloth properly for keeping clean ropes longer time? Sadhu.
Actually, we don't need to have underwear. We have Nisidana. Nisidana, when we are going to sleep, we can also wrap with Nisidana. We can sleep like that. This is also it's allowable. Underwear is a little bit confusion now. Okay. Next one.
Dear Sayadaw, Vandami Sayadaw, can Tutanga monk shave body hair because meditating in very hot weather causing bodily itchy, uncomfortable conditions? Cannot get stronger samadhi. Sadhu.
Okay, what is body hair? Okay, some body hair are allowable to shave. Okay. Then next one.
Dear Sayadaw, regarding the above questions about 4 elements, I am discerning the nature of the elements, but in order to feel smoothness in the body, I still need to think of smoothness so my mind knows to feel smoothness. Is this correct to cultivate strong access concentration?
Actually, instead of thinking, you must feel it. Feelings are more important here, right? Not thinking as a feeling. If you can feel it in your body, it will be better. Okay? Itawata cha amehi sambadam bunya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe satta numodandu sabba sambati siriya Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Nyatinam Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Idame Bunyam Asawakaya Waham Hodu Idame Bunyam Nibbanasa Bajayo Hodu Mama Bunya Bagam Sabba Sadanam Bhajemi Te Sabbe Me Samam Bunya Bagam Labandu Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu.